Hi there, Katie here. We're moving right along in our series, 6 Skills to Master Before Reading. Let's talk about what do I mean when I say manipulating sounds? When we're talking about manipulating sounds, we're talking about either adding, deleting, or substituting sounds within words. For example, let's think about deleting sounds. Think about the compound word toothbrush. If I say, what is toothbrush without the brush, you're deleting the brush and you just have tooth left. And you can do this with individual sounds within a word. If you start with the word spark and you say, what is spark without the s, you're left with just park. You can also do the opposite. You can add sounds or word parts. So if we start with the word tooth and we add brush, now we have toothbrush. If we start with the word park and we add s to the beginning, then we have spark. And you can substitute sounds within words. You can do this with just sounds, or you can use letter tiles to help with the visual part of it. Say we start with the word rug. And I say, can you change g to n? What's our new word? Run. Then if our word is run, we can change the beginning sound by saying, can you change the r to f? And our new word is fun. And then you can even change the middle sound. If our word starts as fun, and I want you to change the to an I, what do we have now? Thin. You can see how when we get into the middle sounds, it gets kind of complicated, and those word tiles are a great visual for kids to keep their mind focused on what part of the word is changing. When should you teach manipulating sounds? Before you teach manipulating sounds, there's definitely some prerequisites. You want your child to be able to easily blend, put together, and segment, pull apart words. That way they can easily know which sounds they are changing, substituting, adding, deleting. Why should you teach manipulating sounds? Manipulating sounds falls under that phonemic awareness umbrella that we've talked a lot about in this series. And phonemic awareness skills altogether are the greatest predictor of future reading success. So it's important that kids understand and are able to build those phonemic awareness skills, including manipulating sounds. When they're practicing the manipulating sounds, they're building confidence and understanding in our alphabet system, and that will benefit them when they start reading and writing in the future. And how can you teach manipulating sounds? The first game I have for you is a simple game of hide and seek, where your child's going to practice deleting a word part from a compound word. You can use pictures, you can use the actual words, or you can just play it verbally, whichever way works best for you. If you play it with materials, you're going to need some picture cards. You'll find these linked in the description, and you'll need something to hide it under, like a pillow or a blanket. And here's how I'm going to introduce it. I'm going to say, look, we have a picture of a starfish, and a starfish has 2 word parts. The first part is a star, and the second part is fish. Now, I'm going to hide one of these underneath the pillow, and you have to figure out what is the missing part. So I'm going to start by hiding the star underneath, because that's the order of the word, star and then fish. And they're going to look under the pillow and they're going to say, there's a star. What is the missing part? What part has been deleted from starfish? And they'll say the missing part is fish. This next game is called Change a Name, and it requires no materials at all, so you can play at the dinner table, you can play when you're driving in the car or shopping at the grocery store. You're going to start with your child's name, Katie, and you're going to delete the first sound. So I'm going to say, what is Katie without the k? And we just have 80 left. You could do that for all of your names in your family. Then, once they're really good at changing the first sound of every family member's name, practice with everyday objects. What is tree without the t? Ree. What is sock without the s? Awk. You can also play this game where you practice substituting the first sound. For example, if we changed the first sound to S, my name instead of Katie would be Sadie. Instead of a fork, we would have a sork. Instead of a pillow, we would have a sillow. We're just playing with words here. You can either delete or substitute to play the change a name game. And finally, I want to share an excellent resource with you. It is the Florida Center for Reading Research. They have tons of free materials for teachers and parents to print off and use. Most of them are games that your child can play to practice all sorts of reading skills, not just manipulating sounds, not just phonemic awareness. It is an awesome resource. I'm linking it for you in the description. Make sure you bookmark it and save it. I want to highlight a couple of games that they have on their website that are perfect for manipulating sounds. Under the kindergarten and first grade section, you'll find a game called Drop and Say. Each child gets a triangle game board, and then there's a stack of playing cards. We're going to look at the picture card. For example, if it's a picture of a deer, your child is going to delete the first sound in deer. If you take away the D, then you have ear left. And then they're going to find the ear on their triangle and cover it up. You can take turns back and forth, or the child can play this independently, and they're practicing deleting the initial sound, the first sound from the word, until they cover their entire triangle. Under the second and third grade section, you'll find a similar game. It's called Final Phoneme Pi. And in this game, you're deleting the final sound off of it. So again, every child gets a circle pie picture board, and there's a set of drawing cards. So let's say you turn over the picture of a hammer. If you're going to delete the final sound in hammer, you're deleting the and you're left with ham. So they're going to take that pie piece and cover the picture of ham on their pie. Also, under the second and third grade section, there is a game called Phoneme Position Sort. And here, this is for advanced practice now. Your child is identifying the change that happens. Does it happen at the beginning of the word, the middle of the word, or the final word? So you're given 3 header cards. It's a shark, a head, a body, and a tail. And then your child gets a drawing card, and it has 2 pictures on it. For example, a cap and a cup. And your child has to identify what sound changed between cap and cup. And of course, that middle vowel changed. So they're going to sort that card under the body of the shark and then go on to the next card. And this is, again, something they can do independently and then have a parent come in and check their sort when they're finished. And the last resource I want to highlight for you is under the K1 section, and it's called Name Change. And the reason I like this activity so much is because it gives you directions. It gives you words to say. There is a student recording sheet that you can do, or you could just play it verbally. On the recording sheet, they get a picture of the word and then they draw it to whatever the new word is after they've deleted a sound. But again, I like it because it gives you, the parent, a script to follow, and you don't have to come up with these words on your own. That's it. Everything you need to know about manipulating sounds and words, plus some activities and resources to get you started right away. As I mentioned, all of the resources I used in this video are linked in the description, including the website for the Florida Center for Reading Research. Check those out. I'd love to connect with you here in the comments or on Instagram. Send me your questions, or I love to hear how your kids are using the games that I'm telling you about in these videos. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel, Happy Reading with Katie. New videos come out every Thursday. You can click that little bell so that you don't miss out. Until next time, happy reading.